Hello, welcome. How you doing? It is I, your pal J.Ishiro, author and alien in a human suit, talking to all of you out there in the non-space that is the internet. And with me, as always, is the ever beautiful and buxotic.
The night editor, Kat Rocha. Hello, everybody.
And we're going to be doing something a little different today. It's not really quite an Adventures in Awful. Explain your awful comics collection, Kat.
Well, it is an Adventures in Awful, just not the normal format that we go for. As some of you may be aware of, I like to collect bad comics, or at least comics that have a truly unique what the fuck factor. I wouldn't say some of them are bad, but others are.
Actually, could you grab a couple of the other ones that are in that collection?
Oh, to show on camera? Yes, we have a camera. Oh my God.
Although we're already thinking about looking into a new one because, as you can see, it's blurring on the image of Nemesis there.
Yeah.
Unless anybody has any tips on how to get a better image of a comic book through the camera. I mean, just for example, my hand looks fine, but it's having real trouble with Nemesis there. In the meantime, as Kat goes to get her oh, here we go, real quickly.
Okay.
Before we go any further, as Fiona Wolf, Florida woman herself, has shown, she is endorsing my book, a sci-fi novel called Scars, now available in print as well as digital. Go over to Amazon.com right now, get a copy, either 99 cents if you like an e-reader, or $5 in print.
Yeah.
Because I deserve it.
Because you're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
Yes, if we're going to talk about bad shit, go read something good. Put your money behind something good while we suffer through something awful.
Yes. Well,
Links in the description.
To continue my narrative, when we moved from San Diego to Arizona, unfortunately, one of the things that did not make it off of the moving van was my bad comic book collection. So I lost everything, and it truly broke my heart. But now that the dust is settled, we have our own place. I can devote some time and some money.
We've had our own place for a while. We own our own place.
Yes, we own our own place. I can devote some of the budget to trying to rebuild my collection and continue to build the collection. Some items that I had lost, unfortunately, are, of course, an oldie but goodie, Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, number 53, otherwise known as the Haunted Vagina issue. And one of the very first Adventures in Awful, yes, I actually, this is the gift that keeps on giving, in my opinion, man-eaters. And we are frozen.
No, we're not.
We're not? Okay. There we go. In my opinion, Chelsea Kane's gift to the world is just that dark hole that every time I stare down it, I start laughing. So.
Well, I don't think it's a dark hole. I think it's red.
It is, well.
Because that is all she talks about.
It then turns dark.
That woman is obsessed with her cooch and whatever comes out of it.
Indeed.
There's something severely wrong with this lady. Okay, and
Black paws matter.
Yeah, Black paws matter. Well, that's exactly what it's referencing.
I know.
Okay, and your final.
And then one I had on my list for a very long time, but finally was able to add it to it, was yes, indeed. It is Jimmy Olsen, number 117, Planet of the Capes, where Jimmy is sold into slavery in a world where if you don't wear a cape, you are the slave class. And in true Freudian fashion, he is not only sold to Bruce Wayne, but he is also sold to himself, who treats him like a slave. So Fun, fun, fun. And that brings us to our nugget of joy of the day,
Wait.
Nemesis. Yes?
In a Disguise wants to know what's worse, man-eaters or MOM?
I am not familiar with MOM. Please enlighten me. This demands investigation.
And Fiona suggests the Anita Blake comic.
Oh dear God. You know what? You know, Fiona, I actually did have that. I had the first issue. But that's been something I've been on the fence about replacing. Maybe it's a pain I need to revisit and see if I need to keep.
Oh, MOM is that shit comic by Amelia Clark.
Oh dear Lord, I did not know about this.
I will look into this right now.
Oh, Ishii is investigating while I tell you about Nemesis here. Now, Nemesis was something that I remembered when it came out, and I remembered everybody just said, look, it's violence porn, and I kind of just wrote it off. Until I came across a review of it recently that did a deep dive, and I went, this is a thing that needs to be in my collection. And dear Janelle, sweetheart that she is, if I could give you a hug, I would, but I'll have to save it till we see each other again in person. Janelle gifted this to us so that we could share it with all of you. Okay.
Chat.
Oh my fucking God. Yes, this is going to demand investigation.
What is going to demand investigation?
MOM is going to demand investigation. I didn't see a goddamn dragon, though.
Amelia Clark's new superhero asks, what if Deadpool was a single mom? What if we don't care?
She's kind of obsessed with that now, isn't she? Now that she's the mother of dragons.
Well, wait, isn't pretty much Harley Quinn trying to be the single mom Deadpool now? She abandoned her kid.
No, single mom implies that you pay some attention to it. Yeah.
Okay, so this turd burglar of a comic Nemesis.
Again, thank you, Janelle. Thank you very much. Are we just reviewing it? Are we doing a dramatic reading? What are we doing? We actually didn't figure this out other than we were going to talk about it because it brought us both pain.
Well, let's just talk about it. If you feel you need to dramatically read anything,
I think I will. There are some parts that are kind of...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. We do little hand dances while I...
Look, here's my phone. It's black.
You bastard! There you go. That's my dramatic reading.
That's your dramatic reading.
Now, the first thing I would like to point out...
But that guy is supposedly Japanese, so you have to say it like you're in a Godzilla vision.
They can't see my mouth.
No, that's true.
Honey, I am an alien. It would be racist for me to do faux Japanese. I am of another
But your
planet.
lips don't move anyway.
When I'm out of the suit, that's true.
Well, sometimes they go out of sync.
Okay, I wanted to point out the opening
is the Blade Runner building?
No, is a complete ripoff of the beginning of Ghost in the Shell.
Yes,
now, look,
is.
I'm just going to make a rule right now. After Christopher Nolan did it in Dark Knight, yes, watch Dark Knight, then watch the beginning of Ghost in the Shell. The Hong Kong scene rips it off scene for scene.
After it a ripoff or is it an homage?
I'd say it's an homage.
He does it well. It's an homage.
No one should ever do that again. Seriously, after Christopher Nolan did it in a really great film, Dark Knight, don't do it again.
No.
Especially in this crappy story. So,
real quick. Do we want to tell the nice people at home what this turd is about, or should we just talk about it and it will unfold?
It's about a supervillain who does a bunch of supervillain stuff and gets into a duel of wits with a super cop, and the story ends.
Yeah, there you go.
There's your plot.
There you go.
Okay, so you want a dramatic reading?
Okay, they can't see.
I know, but look, the human suit's getting a little old. I have to take the glasses off to read this damn thing.
Okay, maybe we should replace the eyes.
Yeah, actually, we should. I think your men are coming to save you, Inspector. Word is, some little shit tipped them off. There you go. Another dramatic reading, everyone. Should I go on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, keep in mind they don't get to see it.
Well, it's a dude tied to a chair. That's about it.
Do you really think they'll get here in time? Because your department hasn't had much luck lately. The poisoning of the Orochi Reservoir, the gas attack on the Tokyo Dome, the theft of the Kusanagi sword. Yes, actually, Kusanagi, the last name of the major, Motoko Kusanagi, is even referenced here. Now, Kusanagi is actually a very famous sword that belonged to a samurai. It's kind of legendary, but a little on the nose, don't you think?
A tad.
For a man with such an impressive reputation, that's quite a lot of failures. I loathe you.
By the way, you're not missing anything. This is page 2.
Okay, so what do you want to say?
It just... Where to begin with the bad? I mean, do we want to start with, like, the big vision? Do we want to start with the tiny things?
Cut loose. You're the editor.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. Give me a second. There's too many things, and I need to.
The things are too many.
There are too many things, and it's just okay. Like.
Let's start with the costume. It's dull.
It's dull. It's boring.
It's Batman without horns.
And it's
white.
Not only that, but like the way he talks, his facial expressions. I swear the actor they modeled him on, this is supposed to be Billy Zane from The Phantom. Outright. And that leads into the thing. This is a canon film. This is downright an 80s canon film, right down to the gratuitous violence, which is fine. I don't mind gratuitous violence. The problem is that even the Menachem Goldwyn came up with better plotted schlock than this. This has no plot. It's a movie script that is an and then plot. And then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened with no rhyme or reason. It's like every time there's a plot complication, he pulled something out of his ass and just made something up to continue this weird ass idea that that Nemesis, this antagonist, is this brilliant supervillain, right down to the fact that there's a part here, let me flip through it, where he's jumped onto fucking Air Force One, and he does not have superpowers.
See, that was the thing. It never establishes. Does this guy?
See, there we go.
It's never established whether or not this guy has superpowers, and at the end it kind of implies he doesn't. But yet he's able to jump onto the wing of Air Force One and walk on it.
And then somehow get to the cockpit.
Point a gun.
And blow out the front cockpit. And then pilot the damn thing with no windshield.
Yeah.
The fuck?
And then he runs it into a fuel truck.
That just happens to be waiting under the bridge.
That's right, you little bastard peasants. Run!
Shit.
Dialogue.
Yeah, dialogue. And why does he do this?
Oh, and we make a point that a mom who just happens to be standing in front of... Well, wait, the truck says petrol. This is the United States.
We don't have petrol.
Do your fucking research. So yeah, a mom just
Well,
happens to be.
he seems to think the police chief of DC actually holds some amount of power.
I'll get into that in a minute. But why is she here at the tunnel, standing at the mouth of the tunnel in front of a petrol truck to be blown up while holding a baby? Just to have it happen?
Yeah, and if it did blow up, then how? I know it's a movie plot. It's a movie plot. And
Oh,
things
I
happen.
did check. He did just. It's very obvious he wrote this just to sell to Hollywood.
Yes.
And it's been sold and it's supposedly being developed.
Oh God, and oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the end right now. I mean, we're gonna talk about some of the more despicable aspects of this book, but basically, it's just he makes shit up. Things happen. Oh, now they capture him. Oh, he planned this the whole time. In fact, he had this planned 8 years ago, 10 years ago, because reasons. And that he's somehow magical and can like see the future or whatever. And then it turns out that he's just some rich doof playing at being a supervillain, and that's the thing that fucking killed me. That's the only aspect of this entire book I thought was interesting, and Millar fucking blew it. The idea is that there's actually a real super genius who's offering a service to rich people, specifically rich snobs in Hollywood, so that they can play villain for a price. And it's like, that's the story.
This passerby says, do your research. Don't be such an Alan Moore. Well, look, sorry, I'm going to demand research, but look, if you can't even know that we don't call it petrol in the United States.
It's like calling it a lift.
I mean, that's kind of...
Yeah. Well, again, it's like saying that the police chief is actually the head of the Secret Service.
Yeah, why would... Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll get into the police chief of DC.
Yeah.
Has apparently more authority than the CIA, the NSA, the Secret Service...
And is next in line to be part of Homeland Security. Like that.
Mark, the head of the DC police is a puppet for the Democrats. That's it.
Yeah.
He's probably being led along by hookers and blow.
Not probably is. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that town is so fucking corrupt.
So talk about our hero here.
Protagonist?
Protagonist, yes.
Captain Protagonist?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's not our hero. This is our hero. Where's our hero? Let's get a better shot of our hero. Oh, I'm looking for a picture of our hero. Basically, dude who isn't Sherlock Holmes, who works for the government, who is in control of all of the things and is the smartiest of smartness ever, is now this guy's next target to harass. And Nemesis has left this card stating the name of our dude, our main protagonist, when he will die, and what counts as a death. And I don't know. It's these action films by numbers. Oh, get my family to safety. Oh, that's not going to come up later. Like, oh, well, he's left us these clues, and they're so fucking stupid. You can't even claim that it's Riddler-esque in trying to figure them out, because the Riddler wouldn't be that stupid. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to get the name of the actor that they based the hero on.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that. I looked over and Ishii looked like he was trying to purchase a new model of spacecraft to fly away.
Oh, no, no. You were seeing the saucer that appears in the Invaders
Ah,
in color.
in color. No, there were action figures of it.
Oh.
But anyway, and I'm getting lost in the stupid. I actually need you to talk to me because I'm getting lost in the stupid, and I'm starting to not make sense to our audience, and that's not being
Okay.
I mean, besides the fact that this is obviously a reference to Diabolic.
Okay, talk about that.
Nemesis is a sad attempt at being Diabolic, which is a French comic where written by two women, no less. And Diabolic runs the line between being a villain and a hero. Basically, he's
not a hero.
He's not a hero, but he's sometimes not a villain. So, you know, basically he's the lovable rogue who's hot and can get into places and do all of the things. And yeah, and this guy is obviously supposed to be a cross between him and Phantom. And no, I'm not kidding. I need you to over here.
Yeah.
Yes, I need you to be over here and talk with me about this because I'm getting lost.
You're getting that. That's how upset you're getting about.
I don't know what to talk about. There's too much.
There's too much. Well, how about
they haven't read this, so I can't, I can't have a dialogue with them. So I need you over here.
Okay, so all right, let's talk about this bridge chase here.
Okay.
He seems to have everything planned beyond any level of reasonability. He seems to always know everything, as if everything, is predictable. And so you get in this, again, action set piece where, for some reason, apparently, police helicopters can now use.
Can we also talk about the fact that the layout and the continuity of this chase scene makes absolutely no goddamn sense?
Tear into it.
Well, you continue what you were saying, and then I will.
Well, first off, apparently DC helicopters can manage to use a nose-mounted Gatling gun, which, if you really want me to, I could get into why that's really stupid and not possible.
Physically impossible.
That really is not that is not possible to have the nose-mounted Gatling gun there for a variety of reasons. And second, why would they be using the police at this point? Wouldn't it be Homeland Security or Secret Service or FBI at this point? International criminal who's kidnapped the president? I mean, talk about generic.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's still the DC police that are handling this. And when he sees that he's been cornered, his car splits open and turns into a motor. Oh God, I haven't seen that before.
No.
And it looks like the bike from Akira, except when he does wheelies, it has guns on it. See, because that's original. And then he does a backflip and downs the helicopter and swims away and goes through the sewers, and you think he's escaped, and then the police got him. And he says, "I planned for this to happen."
You are retarded.
I mean, no. That's been his line through the whole thing. He gets captured. I planned for this to happen.
He also calls them retarded.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see. I'm trying to find the name of the actor.
Okay.
I think it's Mike Ross. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, it's Chris Connolly. It's Christopher Connolly, not the dude in Ministry, but the actor. Well, there's a Chris Connolly in Ministry.
Yeah.
Not the Scottish dude in Ministry. Christopher Connolly, who was in Raiders of Atlantis, and what was it? Tweak, that movie about the
Oh
speed.
yeah.
Yeah, him. This guy that's been in like everything looks like the hero.
God. Okay. Those of you who want to do comics, this is what not to do in an action sequence because it hurt reading it. You very obviously see a roadblock. In fact, you get the roadblock in 2 panels, and he's driving towards it. Okay, that's fine. His car splits into a motorcycle, fine. And then he does this jump, and he leaves behind not a roadblock, but a bank truck and a car.
Because continuity's hard?
To come across another roadblock. Not only that, as far as I know, the bridges in the Florida Keys are not in D.C. That is where he is right now.
I haven't spent enough time in D.C. to really know. I can't answer this.
This is not in D.C.
It looks like the Florida Keys, I'll give you that.
But it's supposed to be D.C. And then, okay, so he apparently teleports when he hops these 2 cops, and these 2 show up out of nowhere, and he shoots them up, and he drives through, and now he's on a dock, on a rickety old wooden dock. Where is this?
Oh shit, you're right. I didn't notice that.
Where is this? He was on a freeway.
Continuity's hard.
Continuity's hard.
And if this is out at the end of a dock or a pier or a bridge, where the hell is the sewer grate?
Yeah, is this under this? No. It makes no sense. And then he pops up, what? Back on that bridge that he just blew up everything and didn't realize that he doubled back.
Well, since when did?
I mean, when I read this, I thought he popped back up out of the manhole back on the street where he had just blown up all those cops.
Well, since when have bridges had connections to storm drains?
Yeah.
You retarded bastards. You brain dead little shits. Don't you think I planned all this?
It's like, I don't care.
Okay, now let's get to where it goes really off the rails.
Okay.
All right. So he does it. They put him in prison, and he's going on about how he planned all this. This kind of really feels like he wanted to do the Joker from Dark Knight and failed tremendously.
Yeah. And yeah, later they come up with the fact that like he planned this whole elaborate thing just so that the cop's family can be released from protective custody. It's like, that's kind of stupid.
Okay, so he plans a prison break, and he releases all the prisoners. Okay.
Okay.
And he tells all the prisoners as they escape, look, I've provided you all with escape cars with keys in them.
That all look like his, what is that, an Audi?
I don't know.
I don't know what the 4 circles are, so sorry for those who know cars. I don't. But
here's the question. No one, and I mean no one at the prison, looked out at the parking lot and said, hey, why are all the cars being replaced with the exact same high-end luxury car?
Yeah.
Nobody noticed this. Nobody. It's just magically there.
They just magically appeared.
I mean, there are certain flaws in this plot. Okay. Shall we get to the I'm taunting you because you're Catholic scene? You were going off on that.
Yeah, there's... Sorry, I'm putting my words together. The trope of horror films, action films, just trope of films in general, and yes, in books too, but it's more jarring in films because you only have 2 hours to tell a story, where books you have a lot more time, is usually a character is going to telegraph a phobia or some trait or something about themselves that will come up later in the story. A good writer, yes?
J.W. Champagne. And you get an escape car. And you get an escape car.
Exactly. But
it's an Audi R8. I guess that's okay for the book.
I guess. But a good writer can seed this into the story so that it comes off, naturally, where you as the reader don't pick up on that's what's happening, and then when it pops up, you have that oh moment. No. They continually shove the fact that our main protagonist is Catholic down your throat over and over and over again, so that when the big climax happens and they shame him, or Nemesis shames him for being Catholic, it's supposed to be shocking, and it's not actually. It's actually really, really tame.
It's written by Mark Millar, who's a Scotsman,
and
he keeps ripping on the fact this hero is an Irish Catholic.
Yeah.
Do you think that just might be him
being a dick?
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean...
Okay, also, he has him admit his son was gay, or is gay.
Yeah.
As if anyone gave a fuck, and as if that would... Read the part. Read it.
Okay. So,
Yeah, please, someone, if anyone knows about how to get this camera to actually see the panels instead of constantly blurring, please let me know.
Now, those 3 big secrets, if you don't mind. Starting with Peggy's indiscretion. You did tell him everything, didn't you, Peggy? Because I've got all the facts right in front of me. And she says, just give back our kids, you bastard! Peggy, please. The first secret is Peggy and my old partner, Milt Daniels. Milt? Okay. Oh, Milton. Okay. Had an 18-month affair shortly after we were married. She considered leaving me, but Milt broke the whole thing off when he got engaged to his now wife, Iris. Okay, fine. So your wife was cheating on you with your partner. Cliche. And when she was dumped by the guy she was cheating on you with, she ran back to you, and now you two are still together. Not shocking. Moving on. Big deal. Yes, I understand. You're Catholic, infidelity, it's a bad thing. So, not to be flippant of the religion. No, I'm not Catholic. Not to be flippant of the religion, but the way this book is written, considering, well, shit, the dude shoved a pipe down a cop's throat, somewhere in here. The amount of cruelty that we've already seen, the fact that she went back, said, I'm sorry, probably went to church and went to confession, and now everything is okay, that's not a big deal.
Infidelities in law enforcement are pretty common.
Yeah, they are pretty common.
And, I mean, it's not like that was going to wreck his career by any means. It's pretty stupid.
Well, again, if we're going on the idea that he's a police chief, it'd do nothing to
his career. Yeah, the police chief in D.C. for real has done a lot worse things.
Yeah.
Like hookers and blow and possibly child trafficking.
And
the Democrats don't seem to really mind, so he's kept his job.
Well, and I was going to say, and if he's supposed to be a politician, well, if he's a Democrat, nobody gives a shit, because it happens all the time. Right. And if he's a Republican, you come out, you admit it, and you move on.
Yeah, or you get booted out of the party.
Or you get booted out. It's one or the other, but it's not that big a deal.
I mean, it's not like he suddenly was found in a college picture doing blackface.
No. Shit.
God, that guy kept his job.
Yeah.
Because he's a Democrat,
Yeah. And why do you think she started this relationship? I wasn't an attentive husband and a poor performer sexually. Well, I must admire your frankness, sir. Secret number 2, please. My son is a homosexual. So?
Okay, keep going.
And why do you think he kept this from you? Did he think you'd be disgusted? He thought I'd hate him, but I could never hate him. I love my son more than anything in the world. So why did he only tell his mother? I'm starting to think you've placed your work over loved ones, Chief. Can you see how this relates to secret number 3? It's like, okay.
Look, 2012, nobody gives a fuck if your son's gay.
Yeah, this came out in 2012.
Okay.
So fucking what?
Okay, you know, yeah, nobody would care.
No. I mean, yeah. So what? And yes, if it's the Catholic thing, fine, but it's not like he's out selling his body on the street or anything. It's just your son's gay. So what? So he only told mom. Big deal.
I guess they forgot that Liz Cheney, Vice President Cheney's daughter, was gay. No one cared.
Nope. So secret number 3. Did you hear what I said, Super Cop? I heard you. The third family secret is that my daughter got pregnant and had an abortion without telling me. Now, why do you think she did that? Because she wanted to go to college. She wanted to go to college, and she knows I disapprove. Oh, that's right. You're Catholic, aren't you? But aren't you a little glad from a career point of view? A teenage mom would have killed all the Homeland Security aspirations.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't. No one would have given a fuck. Better to terminate a little baby than your career prospects, surely. So, okay, so his daughter had sex out of wedlock and had an abortion. Again,
is Mark Millar stuck in 1985?
I mean, I think, okay, correct me if I'm wrong for those who may be in England, but from my understanding, they are a little more stuck on that stuff in parliaments. But here, no, again, it's a family thing. It'd be, again, you know, him being Catholic would not approve of an abortion, wouldn't approve of sex out of wedlock, but definitely wouldn't approve of abortion.
We've seen that voters are actually perfectly fine with the president blowing a wad on an intern's breast.
Yes.
Okay?
Exactly.
Nobody cares.
So, and then he says, your children are in a truck outside completely unharmed. Well, relatively. And then you get that. He fucking artificially inseminated the teenage daughter with the gay son's sperm, somehow made it so that she would have triplets, and then wired her vagina so that womb, you know, so that if they attempted an abortion, it was going to explode. Well, they said make it so that she can't have kids, but knowing this guy, that means explode.
And then nothing is ever made of it ever again.
Well, yeah, it is, actually. Yeah, at the end.
At the very end?
At the very end. You didn't read that part.
Okay, I gave up.
No, at the end, they're talking about how the police chief is stunning and brave to adopt the triplets that his daughter had, and to raise them as their own. I'm like, never mind the fact of incest, but okay. You know, it's stunning and brave of him to do so. And it shows the son playing volleyball with his gay lover.
I get the sense that he was really trying to shock the audience, not realizing that nobody gave a shit by this point, that none of this is shocking. I mean, this isn't like Preacher.
Is it shocking that it's the black partner who's the bad guy? Yeah, that he's the turncoat. Damn you! And then he gets a bullet in the head. I'm sorry. This scene. Do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about this scene?
Redneck. It's weird. It's not that the ideas aren't good, but his mind can't produce a good comic.
Yeah, there's there's little nuggets that on their own can work, but it's an invention.
Read that dramatically.
Yeah. If her uterus goes less than 50 miles an hour, kaboom! Or should I do it deeper, like movie, like Keanu? This book is a nihilistic mess. The villain has that childhood playground aspect. He always pulls out something that just happens to be better. Yeah, like okay, you have this house. You have cops sneaking up to house. They just established that they only see one person in the house, that there's nobody else in there, that they only have one heat signature. So, normal SWAT team would try to find a silent way to break in, maybe even try the goddamn front door. No, they're just gonna bust in as loud as possible through the biggest windows they can find.
And the question is why?
Yeah, and then go through the front door. Where are these windows? That's the front door.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to the part that really just where I thought he thoroughly tipped the goofy meter.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we hasn't dipped it yet.
Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, and there he's waxing. Oh, my plan is coming to fruition. See, it was I the whole time. And now you got a bullet in the head. We didn't see that coming. Okay, if you're only going to blow yourself up, do you really need that much C4 strapped to you?
Well, the other thing is that he gives our hero the choice: blow up your wife or blow up the president, but yet they're holding buttons themselves.
Well, yeah. There was to keep each other occupied.
Oh, okay.
You have you can you can choose to blow up the other person, and then I'll let you go. And they were arguing about that.
And this is supposed to be some metaphoric. Do you choose your personal life or your job?
Like, dude, you don't know DC, do you?
And the president, I thought the only real surprising moment is the president says, "Oh, fuck it," and blows himself up on top of the bad guy.
Which is right here.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, fuck it. Oh, fuck you. Excuse me? I've had enough of this shit. You kidnapped me, murdered my friends, terrorized the entire city, and now well, more than the city. And you think you can just stand here? I hate punks like you for breakfast back in Nam.
I kind of wish that, I think he speaks for all the readers.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this shit. Now, the thing is, if the C4 is powerful enough to blow the front windows out of the Oval Office, which are armored to shit, and all he does is get knocked onto the front lawn with some blood on him.
Yeah, with the line, "Holy shit, I'm covered in old person."
Yeah.
Like, really? That's your line?
And again, I'm wondering, okay, does he have superpowers? But apparently he doesn't. Oh, and our hero also apparently comes out burned.
And then they get into a fist fight in limbo. There's nothing here that tells me where they are until the final panel.
All right, so where is it? Then we truly tip the goofy meter. There's an Apache attack helicopter here.
Cue the Airwolf music.
Yeah, here we go. Apache attack helicopter, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Take him down. I want a clean sweep.
Okay, so he's going to sweep the ground.
All right. This is it. This is it. They're only grazed multiple times. Neither of them takes a direct hit. And then they get up to fight some more. Now, we're going to have a little talk about the Apache attack helicopter, all right?
Okay.
Because I love aviation.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we see something stupid with an attack helicopter, it really gets on my nerves. Because I see it more and more and more in film, and it really grates on me. Let's make something perfectly clear about the Apache. That belly gun on the Apache is a 30 millimeter. with uranium-tipped rounds.
Mm-hmm.
That thing can eat tanks alive.
Yes, tanks. We're not talking like Humvees. We're not talking cars. We're talking tanks.
Second, when targeting humans, the Apache gunner does not aim for the human with that gun because there is no point. In fact, the blast from the rounds are so powerful and throw up so much shrapnel that what they do is they aim about 3 feet to a meter in front of the target, so that when the bullet hits the ground in front of them, it sprays them with a cloud of shrapnel that is, what is it? Something like almost 20, 30 feet around.
Yeah.
It just sprays shrapnel everywhere, and there is nothing left. I mean, seriously, there is nothing left of the person when this happens.
Well, there's that gun camera footage of the Apache, and it's the IR camera.
Yeah.
So you see the heat signatures, and you just see the spray of heat go across a person, and they're just gone.
So the idea that these two just got sprayed by an Apache helicopter's belly gun, and they've just been chucked out of the Oval Office by C4 explosive,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get up and fight some more?
Yes.
What kind of retarded shit is this? Especially since throughout this book they keep talking about guns as if the writer knows what he's talking about.
Well, the fact that Nemesis here shoots our main character in the stomach with a fucking Desert Eagle 50 caliber.
At point blank.
At point blank, and we're supposed to believe that he's going to live from that.
Right.
Like, no.
Yeah, it's just, Mark, are you even trying? And another scene that I've seen a lot in comics, by the way. I don't know if any action films have done this, but I know this is shown up quite a few times in comics, where the hero jumps out of a window or hides in a tree or is hanging off a building and shoots the pilot of the Apache or sometimes a Cobra gunship.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just make something very, very clear. The Apache specifically, the cockpit glass can take direct hits from 50 caliber rounds and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're talking Barrett 50 sniper rifle won't do fuck all to the cockpit. So when you see some guy, like Brian Wood did this with a Hind attack helicopter, Russian, where somebody shoots it down with 9mm.
Like, no.
And what he does is
fucking snowstorm can't take down a Hind.
He shoots the tail rotor. It's like, those tail rotors are made to take direct fire from M16 machine gun or AK-47s.
Oh, I think an RPG too.
Well, it's sketchy there, but whether it'll survive or not. But the Hind, for instance,
yeah,
just like the Apache, you can shoot the tail rotor multiple times. You direct hit from an automatic rifle, and nothing's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, just my rant there that really pissed me off. And then I guess stormtroopers show up and arrest them.
No, they scrape them off the ground, and you get this very poignant image of the cop being saved while his son is flipping through pictures of the family, and at midnight is when Nemesis dies, and then you get this letter to our protagonist. By the way, tell me that's not supposed to look like Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, I know, it kind of does.
Yeah. And it's just stupid.
Okay, so yeah, that is the great big retarded.
Do you want me to read that letter at the end?
Go right ahead. And then somebody's got a great question about Blue Thunder, which I can answer.
My dear Chief Morrow, first of all, may I congratulate you on your success against a most formidable opponent. You succeeded where many significant others failed and deserve all the accolades paid to you in the media. I was also impressed to see you step aside and allow the rival to take your place as the head of Homeland Security. This had long been an ambition of yours, and it showed tremendous character to put your family before your career aspirations. I am a family man myself, and religious as you are, which is why I was also pleased to see your daughter carry those triplets full term and the subsequent adoption by you and your charming wife. This vacation is surely much needed, and I'm heartened to see you all spending time together. I would also like to assure you that you and your family will be quite safe from any and all of my future customers. You beat Nemesis most definitively, and it would be immoral of you to be targeted again when next year's supervillains are unveiled to the world. I run a business, you see, where the rich and the bored can savor adventure for a few short weeks of every year. We focused mainly on the Pacific Rim, but our services are expanding to the West with relish, and my client list has been growing heavily ever since the current financial crisis. Perhaps it's the zeitgeist which modern Hollywood, but they all want to be supervillains at the moment, and the artists and engineers are working night and day to make their dreams come true. Naturally, you'll see more of us soon, but in the meantime, I would ask that you and those you feel closest to stay away from the Los Angeles area. By the way, I like to point out the financial crisis he's talking about is the mortgage crash of '08.
Yeah.
So the mortgage crash of '08 has caused rich people to decide, I'm going to be a supervillain.
So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to unplug the camera.
Okay.
Unless you got any more to share.
No, just this stupid line about how there's this bottle of 100-year-old champagne that's been waiting for him for a decade, as if like to imply that this old the hell is this shit? Although we can do a dramatic thing of Mark about this.
In a minute, yeah. Let's scoot up and we will talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Scoot on in. Okay, there's some comments here I do want to address. A hind would giggle at a 9mm like Ralph from The Simpsons. Exactly. I'm not familiar with Cybercrash, passerby. Okay, let's see. Again, the gun on Blue Thunder wasn't real. No, I believe that was indeed a prop gun, but here's a few things to answer about the one on Blue Thunder. That nose-mounted Gatling gun was patterned after the Gatling gun on the Cobra Bell attack helicopter. Now let's get some visuals. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
And for those of you in San Diego, you can see one up close and personal at the Flying Leathernecks Museum in Miramar.
Hell, on a regular basis, you can see those things up close and personal.
Just flying across the sky.
Occasionally see them flying around here still.
Oh, yeah, I saw them the other day.
Okay, I'm going to show you the modern variant. Well, that's not a very good one.
That's a video game.
No. That's an old Vietnam version where they were trying different things. This is a little tiny Gatling gun. Oh yeah, this is the picture. What you've got here is it's got a little tiny Gatling gun and a grenade launcher on it. But here we go. I think this is still the modern variant, but this should do the job. Let me just grab the graphic. Okay, so the helicopter in Blue Thunder, the nose-mounted Gatling gun was loosely based on the one on the Cobra, which is a 20mm. Now, first off, let's keep in mind that a 20mm Gatling gun versus a 30mm Gatling gun or just chain gun, There's a big fucking difference to the kick on that. But that gun on the nose of the Cobra there, you notice first off, it's actually mounted a little inward under the pilot, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But mainly, that gun can only fire, I believe, half-second bursts, or it can only fire a handful of rounds. The bursts are very short. And the reason they have short bursts and it's set that way is because any sustained fire, the recoil is so heavy that it actually starts pushing the helicopter backwards. So that's actually, it can only fire short bursts. And the engine on the Cobra is not your typical, police helicopter, but the workhorse that was used in essentially the Iroquois or Huey, the signature helicopter from Vietnam. So it's got a very high-powered engine on a very small helicopter, relatively. The one in Blue Thunder was a prop. And if you recall, in Blue Thunder, let's see if I can find it. Does it have it? No, it doesn't. Well, geez, where is it? I'm not finding any good pictures. By the way, I don't know if it's there anymore, but when Kat and I used to drive to Long Beach, Blue Thunder was sitting underneath a tarp at the local airport, which I thought was interesting. It was weird. You just see it there. Those are all toys. Okay, I think that's good enough. All right, now let's take a look at Blue Thunder. Yes, you're getting a lesson in helicopters.
Because we're educational.
Okay, you notice how the gun on that thing is pushed way forward. Way forward, whereas the Cobra has it kind of still, it's almost on the belly. So that thing's pushed way forward. That is a prop that fired blanks. Now, the thing was that gun on Blue Thunder was so fucking heavy, just the prop, that you see all this padding around the rotor or the internal rotor on the back of the helicopter. That was a counterweight to keep the helicopter from tipping while they were filming it. Because otherwise the helicopter would keep listing forward and tip forward. So there's an actual counterweight on the back of it. And for certain scenes, they had a big heavyweight that they'd stick on it where if it was like flying toward the camera, you couldn't see the weight.
Wow.
And now I will refrain from showing the gun cam footage because it might get me banned. But anyway, here we go. Now for the Apache. And the Marines primarily use the Cobra. The Army uses the Apache. And I couldn't tell you why. I'm not sure why that choice is. It could be that just the lighter attack helicopter might just be more useful for the Marines. The Apache is a much heavier helicopter and has far more powerful engines. Now, that gun on the belly there may seem small because it's just a barrel. That thing is a beast. It fires 30 millimeter rounds, uranium tipped, and they shred tanks. So, and those windows there are bulletproof to 50 caliber. Not only that, higher caliber rounds can hit it and from below or at different angles, and it will deflect off the glass if it's not a direct hit. Likewise, the rotors are nigh bulletproof. So yeah, anyway, enough of my lecturing. Now we've got questions.
Horrible. Hollywood physics. High velocity explosions are no more damaging than a bar fight.
It's a good point, actually.
But only to the main characters. If you're a secondary character and lower, it's up in the air. Fiona, this is everything wrong with American comics nowadays. On the pointless violence / nihilism ends. Edge, MC Edge, MC Edge. These wounds, they do not heal.
I'm not familiar with Cyber Crash. I'm not sure what that is.
Fizz, the villain's grand plan was just to have an incest baby be born. 3 incest babies. It was triplets.
Oh, you mean Snow Crash? You know, it's been so long since I've read Snow Crash, I can't honestly tell you.
I couldn't get past the pizza scene.
I would say that the first, 150 pages, that first scene is the novel. The rest of it's okay.
And then seeing them living in the shipping crate, or the shipping, or not, sorry, the storage crate.
I think would have been a perfect novella.
Also, little note to those who may not know that public storage actually does exist under the runway of LAX.
The one in Snow Crash, yeah.
Fiona, head desk. Jesus, this is the Empress Teresa of comics.
Well, supposedly there's another character in the same setting that Millar was creating called Superior, where a handicapped boy has a wish granted to him by a magic monkey that turns him into Superman for a week.
Again, I just kept thinking M. Night Shyamalan did it better.
This is such a strange story, I would have to agree. This comic would be better if it was pure absurdist parody like Martial Law. I agree.
But Martial Law had a plot.
Yeah. All right.
So,
what?
Wizard wants you to talk about Airwolf.
Click it. Or Warzard.
Warzard.
Do Airwolf next. Okay, you know, I used to love that show as a kid, at least the first season. The second season kind of went downhill. But yeah, I used to love that show. And one thing people seem to keep missing about Airwolf, because it is a Bell helicopter, a civilian helicopter, which you can see. The original concept was the idea is that it looked like a normal helicopter, and then all the guns and missiles would pop out when necessary.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
A fucking wrestling belt on. Sorry.
You're already tearing into a comic you haven't read yet.
Well, okay. How about Mark Millar does Suicide Squad?
Holy crap, you're right. I guess that's another one in his setting he was trying to create.
Super crooks. There are too many superheroes in America. Let's go somewhere else.
I thoroughly agree, JC. It kept straddling the being very interesting to stupid as hell. It didn't know if it was a joke or serious. By the way, do you want to talk any about Danger Diabolique, since it seemed you got a lot of people interested in it?
I wish I knew more about Danger Diabolique. All I know about it, and he is very intriguing, is he's not a villain, but he's definitely not a hero. I would say
he's a playboy thief who bangs all the ladies.
Yeah, he's a playboy thief who bangs all the ladies, but he has like the one sweet honey who he always goes back home to. Who he's always stealing jewels strictly for her. And she gets off on the fact that he's this international man of mystery and danger. Basically, he is, I guess, nihilism. He's very French. He's extremely French.
Yeah. He's very much a nihilist. I mean,
yeah.
He was written by two sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, ladies. You know, one of the most sexist characters in comics.
Written by two women.
Two women, and basically it's this jewel thief who's living for the moment, and he's a playboy, and he's a womanizer,
and he's a thrill seeker, and it's basically you present him a challenge, he's going to take it. He loves outsmarting the cops, he loves outsmarting the authorities. He's if Moriarty really didn't give a shit.
And then at some point he joined the Beastie Boys, which I found very confusing. What? What?
You threw me for that. Yeah. But I mean, you know, he wears a full body vinyl suit that's fucking white. He's in a white
Holy shit, you're right.
bodysuit the entire time.
He actually kind of looks like Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe.
Sorta, yeah. And so.
Oh, and he has the white car.
And he has the white car. And he has that subterranean base.
Fuck, you know, I didn't catch any of that.
Oh.
You're right.
That's why it's like Millar wanted to cast Billy Zane as Diabolic.
Do you think you can swing 5 minutes as I go check that coffee? Do you think that coffee's ready?
Oh yeah, I should totally.
My honey
ready.
did something very nice for me. What did you do?
Well, we live in a desert, and even though it's approaching the middle of September, it is still in triple digits here. And so it is too hot for our poor little alien to brew coffee. So I got for him a cold brew kit so that he can have coffee. His poor thing has been overheating in his human suit. It's very sad. Anyway. Nemesis is totally like, he's like a hangnail off of Diabolic. He is the cast off booger of Diabolic. And we are told this is our new hero. And it is very sad. Anyway, okay, while he is getting coffee, I can do. Sorry, I'm going to do a dramatic reading of the letter that is in the back of this wonderful nugget of joy that Millar has presented us with. This is the afterword. First up, okay, by the way, I can't do a Scottish accent. I am sorry. I'm not even going to try. I can do British very well, but I can't do Scottish, and I'm not even going to try. First up, thanks to everyone who shelled out their dough and bought this comic. It doesn't star anyone you've ever seen in a movie, and you have no childhood affiliation to the character. You never dressed up as Nemesis for Halloween. You never watched his TV show, and you never played with the action figures. As far as you're concerned, he never existed before you picked up this book. So if you coughed up the cash and bought this comic, it means you must have a little faith in me and Steve. Again, thank you for that. At least we can do in return is give you a good read. Can I have my money back? Can Janelle have her money back? And hopefully that all worked out fine. Of course, you might just be reading this in the store, in which case, what are you doing looking at the text page? You should be poring over the spectacular art of the man they call Steve McNiven, bud. I tried to cover up his pages with balloons and sound effects, see Old Man Logan and Marvel Civil War for our previous collaborations, but occasionally you can peek behind all those words and see his magnificent talent shining through. He's the biggest in the biz, and we've been talking about doing a creator-owned book for a couple of years now. The very, very simple concept of Nemesis. What if this cool billionaire with all those planes, cars, and gadgets put on a mask and waged war on the forces of law and order? You failed. Is the bait he finally swallowed. We lucked out on our first 2 gigs together, and hopefully I can ride the coattails again this year too. By the time you read this, the Kick-Ass movie should be out in the UK and is just 2 weeks away if you live in one of those strange foreign countries that make up the rest of the world. All indications that we're looking at something big, possibly even bigger than my Angelina-propelled Wanted movie. Didn't that bomb?
Mm-hmm.
So all sorts of sharks have been circling this wee character you're holding in your hands right now in the hopes of snaring my next new property. It's actually tremendous fun, and we've turned down every offer made to our reps, focusing hard on just finishing the comic and making it as good as it can be. AKA, nobody has enough zeros to offer you. What the actual fuck? Thank you, Janelle.
Well, it's in production now, apparently.
But I can't stop thinking how delighted Dave Lewinsky must feel when he sees his name all over the Kick-Ass posters, and hope Matt Anderson and Blake Morrow feel the same twinge of excitement as Nemesis hits the stands. They're all winners of a charity auction I organized for the special needs school where my brother Bobby works, and it's weird to think that they're very likely to make the hump from civilian identities to comic book characters to toys, games, and movies in the next couple of years. The fuck? Thank you. Huge thanks to them for getting behind such a worthy cause and for having some awesome, quite super heroic names. Huge thanks also to the retailers, Stand Up and Bow, who have been pimping this book like there's no tomorrow. Again, with no budget to promote this title, we did everything online, and we'd like to say a special thanks to the guys who downloaded our poster and stuck it up in their store windows. On the pages to follow, you can see their names and contact details, and I urge you to smother them in cash. Does he actually do it? No, he does not. No, he does not.
Okay.
He does not put a list of the stores that supported his book in the back of the book, as he just said in the afterwards he would do. You fuck.
Did you buy this or is this a homemade thing? Let me know. God.
Where did it go? Seriously, buy everything they have, even if it leaves you penniless and no money for food or rent, because these guys got behind our little book based on nothing except the buzz from our previous stuff. So, does that mean there's no stores that supported this? Sorry. Oh, we almost got a noser there.
Yeah.
That's a risk they took, and it's one we're grateful for. Our pre-orders on this were bigger than even Kick-Ass. I've loved writing this book. Yes, it keeps going. It's something I've wanted to do for ages. And as I type these words, I've just fine-tuned the final issue. Steve already started on issue 2 and feeding me one page at a time to keep me happy. Like Kick-Ass, we're literally doing this for free so we can own the rights entirely. And believe me, there is no greater feeling in the world.
They did not do this for free. We paid money, or Janelle paid money for this book.
Yeah, than owning your own creations. It's like hanging on to your own babies and not seeing a pop star or actress from the other side of the world show up and nick them. What?
I'm kind of... Was he drunk when he wrote this?
I don't know. There you go. There's the white suit.
I'm trying to get a good shot of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a white suit, so it doesn't show up very well. It's glorious and very satisfying, and maybe just exactly what we need right now in an industry where sometimes we rely a little too much on the work and ideas of other people. Said somebody who does nothing but steal those works and ideas of other people and slaps your own logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also...
You mean Alan Moore?
Yes. It's also worth remembering that without our predecessors, we wouldn't even have the kind of deals we have at place like Icon, and it's the men and women who paved the way for creator-owned comic books that I'd like to dedicate this series. Fucking hell. That all actually sounded worryingly sincere.
If you think that's sincere, Mark, you need to drink a little more.
I need to head downstairs and pop another couple of flippant pills in my cup with my cuppa and get back to my cynical self. Well, there you go. Better split and hit to the day job again. I'm a professional dancer.
I think he was drunk.
But Steven, I thought you were a professional ass kisser. There's the diabolic.
Oh yeah, wasn't that in Team America?
Yeah, and they specifically did say that they patterned it after Diabolic. But Steven, I hope you like our book. If it's as big a hit as the insane amount of buzz around the web seems to indicate, I might even be able to afford that. I'm sorry.
Okay, he's just rubbing it in our face that people paid money for this.
That penis extension I've been looking for.
Yes, he is rubbing it in our faces that people paid money for this.
Love you much, Mark Millar.
I'm kind of at a loss here.
You know what? Usually I don't read the afterwards. I figure why. It's usually a bunch of thank you to everyone who supported us. But that was kind of the cherry on the shit sundae that this needed, isn't it?
I'm going to stick with shit Sunday.
Okay, how about the corn nugget and the shit sundae? Thank you, Janelle. I've been saying it through this whole episode, but thank you. Oh yeah, that's where he and his girlfriend fuck in the pile of money.
French women made this, you say?
Yes.
Actually, I was the one that found that. You know, I've got an entry on that if you want to read it.
On French women?
No, on Danger Diabolique.
Oh.
Okay, let's post a few pictures. Since Jesus is already sad enough here. Jesus has had enough.
Jesus did more than weep.
Jesus wept. Oh my God. They didn't hear any of that.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, great. So they didn't even hear any of that. We've been back on. Wonderful, wonderful. So do I redo all that? Do I redo all of what I just said?
You did a wonderful
Ben Shapiro impression.
yes.
Well, yeah, it's that. Okay, here's what happened. Okay, I'm going to repeat. We were running the computer off the solar battery, and typically I can get 6 hours out of that thing if it's just the computer. Shit, why is it when we rebooted it went automatically to mute?
I don't know.
The mic shouldn't have done that.
No. Did it accidentally get bumped when...
No, it shifted to mute when we rebooted.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. But no, I was running the computer off the solar battery, and I can get about 6 hours if it's just the computer. But with the microphone, the camera, and the external fan that I added to it to cool the thing down, we only got about 3. And so, yeah, basically the solar battery died. I didn't think it was going to die that quickly. So anyway, that's why we went off the air. Now, Fiona had said that we should shill our work like Ben Shapiro.
No. Fiona had asked, should she shill more books? And somebody else told her, yes, shill like Ben Shapiro.
With a new sponsor.
Yes.
And so I said, well, okay, well, we've got a new good sponsor. They're a good conservative American company, and it's called Scars, and the price is very much worth it. If you want, you've got to support with your dollar, and you've got to support us if you want alternatives. And so I would urge all of you right now, if you really, really care, if you really care about these things, you'd go right now to my sponsor and purchase a copy of Scars. To which we then, by the way, you can buy Scars. It's description. There's a link in the description. It's now in print and digital, and both are stupidly affordable. 99 cents digitally, $5 in print. And a very, very rare day that you're going to find anything that cheap. But no, I was commenting that the fun thing about Ben Shapiro is that the guy's like an encyclopedia, but that he's also his complete lack of social graces. That, frankly, that high-pitched voice and his mannerisms are really, really annoying, and he drives me up the wall. But Ben is wonderful to watch with other people, watching him drive other people up the wall. And that with him on Bill Maher recently was just hysterically funny because, again, they were talking about critical race theory. And with his photographic memory, he was like an encyclopedia. No. I read that book. And on page 47, it says this. No, racial, critical race theory did indeed state this, that it is this. So don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, I think watching Ben drive someone up the wall is just a beautiful thing. Because you can't trip him up. It's very rare that he gets something wrong. The only time he ever screws up is when he puts his foot in his mouth and says, my wife has never gotten that wet. It's medically not possible.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, his greatest problem is when he walks himself into problems.
Well, and randomly reveals TMI. It's like, dude.
My wife's a medical doctor, and she assures me that it's perfectly normal. He was criticizing Wet Ass Pussy, that song.
Oh.
And he was saying it was medically impossible. His wife has never gotten that wet. Although, hysterically, another thing that will trip Ben up is his sister's possibly attractive, but she's got huge tits.
Yeah.
And it's kind of become like this internet thing where people will keep asking about his sister's huge tits, and it gets them mad.
Really? If he didn't get mad, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's just to get that reaction.
I know.
JC, I asked my wife, who's a medical doctor, if a woman's vagina could get so wet you'll need a bucket and a mop. She told me it was a medical condition. Yeah. Shapiro's married.
He's from Beverly Hills. He's a rich Jewish kid. Of course he's married.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of influence and money the guy has alone, of course he's going to get married.
No, his mom probably like badgered him as like, you will bring me children.
You know, that's actually probably more likely. Ben, we found you a nice girl.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not a joke. Apparently that really happens.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Of course, in all fairness, you know, I think that's normal for all moms to demand they want grandchildren.
My mom did not demand. She did reserve the right to voice that she was disappointed. I was like, she can do that.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't leave you alone.
No.
She wouldn't talk to me.
Well, she kept forcing babies on me. You know, visiting your extended family. It's like, oh, look, here's a baby. Hold it. It's like, no, thank you. It's not that I don't know how. It's that I'm not really interested.
Ouch! Fuck.
But will the kids be his?
See, again, this is why we love Ben Shapiro, is that he's simultaneously right and brilliant about a lot of stuff. He's also really dumb about a lot of stuff, and we can make jokes like that.
Well, honey,
You made the right comparison. You said he was like Mandark.
Yeah. I was about to say something really tasteless. No, of course they're yours, honey. I've just taken them to the beach a lot. That's why they're so dark.
Redneck, why are you a disappointment? So, anyway,
Yeah.
Okay. In my defense, I really don't know much about Ben Shapiro's life. Thing is, Ben Shapiro is essentially a lukewarm neocon. I mean, I agree with him on a lot of stuff, and I disagree with him on a lot of stuff. And I frankly think that my problem with Shapiro, frankly, other than his annoying voice, is that he's too much in the tradition of the old school W neocons. And frankly, I'm not a fan of neoconservatism. I really don't think that we should be involved in Middle East conflicts left and right, and that we shouldn't be dumping money into Israel and putting bases all over Europe. It's really not something I think we should be wasting our cash on. Ben is very much an interventionist, and he's also very fascist about vaccines, but who knows? Maybe his doctor sister gets a cut. Or Dr. Wife.
Dr. Wife.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to talk more about, since this was a smash and people really liked this episode, you want to talk about what you want to do next, since the night editor reviewing a comic?
Do you mean which comic I want to do next, or?
Yeah.
Well, it all depends. I do have Jimmy Olsen, as I showed everybody at the beginning. Ishi, did your mom ask?
Well, we'll get to that.
I do have Jimmy Olsen. I also have I have the new Guardians issue 2 heading my way. With
you do?
I do.
With Cocaine Man and AIDS Man?
Yes. With was it Snowfire and Hemogoblin. And Ishi's not joking about those, what they are. Yeah. Yes, a super villain with the power of cocaine. And if what I read is correct, Hemogoblin gives you AIDS. And yet people fixate on the cocaine one. I'm like, no, that's mild.
No. I think
the villain giving you AIDS. What the fuck?
So Snowblaze and
Snowfire
and Hemogoblin really should have like this fight with Snowflake in Safe Space.
That's my idea.
I think that would be great. It's from my father's side of the family. Uncle Shumley was really...
Wow.
Oh, you're vicious, dude. That's fucking vicious. And yeah, he is a neocon. Chill. The fucker admitted he voted for Hillary.
Yeah.
Because he agreed with her neoconservative interventionist views. Let's see.
Horrible. Jimmy Olsen sold as a slave to himself. Even the Wonder Woman guy thinks that's a bit kinky. JC, was it Snowfire or Snowflame that was the cocaine-powered supervillain? That it was.
By the way, I've been looking at the artwork you've been commissioning for that, Fiona. That is really nice work, whoever you're hiring.
Cool.
Okay, somebody had asked... Let's see. Now somebody... Oh, shit, moved.
Victoria, Ishi, did your mom ask when you're going to have kids, if you don't mind me asking?
My mom pressured the shit out of Kat and I to reproduce. And put bluntly, neither of us are parent material.
Nope.
And I'm just, I think that people should be having kids. I think people who are in stable, safe situations are exactly the kind of people that should be having kids. A lot of the listeners that I've met who have children are exactly the kind of people that should be having children, like Janelle, absolutely. But be completely blunt, I married late, and neither of us are really in a mental place that would make for good parents. I've got severe post-traumatic stress, night terrors. I don't keep regular hours. I don't react well to loud noises. And Kat's bipolar. And I feel that if I were to have kids, I would have to devote my life to that, because I don't want to do to children what was done to my generation. I don't want to, put kids second. I think my writing would become second after that. And I honestly don't think I have the ability to be able to put a child first and be the good parent that a child needs, be honest with you. And I will admit also, probably because my childhood was so bad, there's a legitimate fear. I would be terrified of fucking it up. I mean, let me put it this way. When rats came into my care, I was horrified I was going to fuck it up. That's how paranoid I've become after what my parents did to me. Now, granted, it turned out me and rats were great friends, but you can leave a rat in a cage for a week and it won't die. But no, I just don't really think I'm parent material, honestly. You speak for yourself.
I swore I was never going to be a human being's reason for being on the psychologist couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not want that.
It's just I'm going to be brutal, but maybe if my parents had valued children, I'd have a very different view. Honestly. Maybe if my childhood hadn't been so shitty, I'd have a different view.
I've never wanted kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, when I was forced to play house with the other girls, I was always the dad and I'd go to work, which means I left the house. I never wanted kids. I never played with dolls in that way. I went through the motions, but that was because I thought that was what it was expected of me. I never actually enjoyed it. I've never had a maternal instinct.
Oh, that's true. That's not true. You do have a maternal instinct. It's very minor. And that is when you suddenly get to you get the urge to sit down and sew bedding and things for rats.
Well, is that maternal? Or
Yes.
Okay. It's not just me being a caregiver?
No, there is a maternal aspect to when you...
Okay.
I'm just saying
Okay.
that...
Well, I've never wanted babies.
And
quite frankly, to there's a lot of baggage, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm just going to say the idea of being pregnant makes me physically ill. And I don't just mean want to vomit. It does other things that make me physically ill. There is an actual physical reaction to the idea. So no, I am not mother material. I don't mind being the cool aunt, and I can babysit. That's fine. But actually having them of my own, I'll leave it to cool people like Janelle.
who? Jeez, I wish my mom was that cool. Damn. Yeah. I'm not sure what this one.
Horrible. I don't keep regular hours. I don't react well to loud noises. You and Ishii Jr. would get on like a house on fire. Yep, same here, Dad.
Mike's really fuzzy. Oh, okay.
We might be getting choked. Our internet has been weird.
Yeah, explain that.
At work, I have a digital phone, and that had been cutting out. And it's like, oh, we can't have this. And tech support told me it was our connection. So I called our internet service provider, and they did a check, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're running at about half what you should be. And it's coming from outside of your house. It's not coming from your own equipment. So they're sending a guy on Monday. Gee, I called Wednesday. They're sending a guy Monday. Thanks, to come fix it.
That's actually why we didn't have a writer's room Wednesday, is because our internet at that point was running so slow that we could barely get this thing, the stream running.
I nearly had to take the day off of work. It was so bad. Janelle, you guys definitely have the cool aunt and uncle vibe. My kid liked hanging out with you both. Awesome. Good. Always welcome.
The other thing I kind of wonder is if Dunk might have had a influence on that as well.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah.
But a very grim one.
Well, yeah, another day. Hug. It's coming from outside the house. Wait, the story doesn't go that way.
The calls are coming from inside the phone. So, yeah. So which one do you think we're going to do? Jimmy Olsen next?
I'd say we'll do Jimmy Olsen unless Guardians comes in.
Will you be able to do tarot on the air?
I think so.
Or is there nudity?
Well, we're not monetized.
Okay, we can try and do it. Yeah.
I mean, well, what's YouTube's issue? Making sure you label the episode so that it's not for kids. Okay? That's not hard, unless YouTube themselves decide to fuck with it again and change it on their own.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nudity. I mean, I suppose I can go through with little pasties.
That might be the way to go.
Okay, I'll go in with little dots and put pasties on everybody.
But yeah, and I know that you have no interest in this one, but I honestly think doing the issue of tarot where the woman hides nuclear bombs in her tits for Saddam Hussein.
Oh no, I'm fine with
sounds
that
hysterically funny.
I'm fine with that. I just got to track it down.
So
Plus, the cover image is hysterical.
okay, should we call it a night or?
Yeah, I
I mean,
guess
this was
unless we wanted to chat with people
I mean,
longer.
this was a great show. I mean, honestly, I would say the best thing about this is that it was a real a palate cleanser for me.
What, full of shit?
No. After having to stick my head into the toilet that is Noelle Stevenson's life and She-Ra,
Oh,
I needed something that I could just say, yeah, that's shit, and laugh at it.
like Starfire?
Yeah, well, Starfire kind of gets me. This is just laughable.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we know that Mark Millar can write good stories. It just didn't.
He chose not to.
It was like it was written as a Hollywood pitch.
I would argue, actually, because I've been exposed to enough of his crap, I would argue he only, when left to his own devices, his writing's fuck. You know, it's just, no, he doesn't write well when left to his own devices. He can put sentences together competently, and that's about it. The actual, like, form and structure and story he is supposed to tell is utter trash. It's when he has an editor and a direction, that's when he can do it well.
You know, Joe the Pagan here has a great suggestion. What if we did start a new channel? The Night Editor reviews comics, and label it as education. And we always go into thinking, now, parents, this is for parents to understand what would be in the book, and then get into the review. Oh, and of course, parents, see, there are boobs here.
Like Rocket's Your Decision.
Exactly. And just every time, so they can say, well, you know, there was nudity. Oh, we're trying to educate parents.
Where the guy, where all he's doing for 20 minutes is playing with the Masters of the Universe playset.
Oh, God. Wait, wasn't that the Christian guy you mean?
Yeah.
There was saying that He-Man was evil?
Yeah. But it's just him playing with the toy. It's like,
Yeah.
admit it, you're just playing with your son's toy. JC, 2000s bad comics are more fun than current 2020 bad comics.
I would have to agree with that thoroughly
Mhm.
and entirely. Let's see. Oh, you know what? There is one more thing I want you to do.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got 27 people listening, and unfortunately, your performance, your dramatic reading of Kami Slayer Angel
Yeah.
got pulled.
Oh.
Remember when I had you read it and everyone was laughing their ass off?
Yeah.
That got pulled from the internet.
What the fuck?
It was because I was running Rob Zombie and Nine Inch Nails videos in the background.
Oh.
That episode got banned. It got pulled down.
And you can't.
It's gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, gone. And I didn't find out till it was no longer. I couldn't download it anymore.
Oh, damn.
So,
I would want to do it, but I'm actually too tired.
You're too tired to do a dramatic reading? Okay. Well, as long.
We can do it next time.
Next time?
I'll be more up for it next time.
Well, next time is tomorrow, and we'll be doing I'm Not Starfire as long as our internet connection holds out.
Well, isn't that a great introduction to I'm Not Starfire?
Maybe.
Is a slayer of commies.
All right. Shall we call it a night?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for here. Yeah, they cut you off midstream. Yeah.
On you guys, even with that stuff muted.
All right. Well, again, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes.
And see you soon. Tomorrow's
Definitely.
I'm Not Starfire.
Good night, everybody.